In 1990, there was no digital telecommunications industry. It did not exist. There were no digital cell phones. There was no World Wide Web. We're going to create what comes after the...
General Magic, an intense, fast-paced documentary about the thrilling creation and dream of a project, all the way to its inevitable destruction and failure. The general idea to it being that many of your successes in life will spawn out of your failures, and how most of the people who worked at General Magic went on to become successful in later endeavors. What isn't too clear, however, is if this is due to the nature of what they worked on at General Magic, or based on the types of people that they were and where they were working before taking on this endeavor. Regardless, I do find this documentary, while slightly overly dramatic at times, and also slightly manipulative, as most documentaries are, generally quite fun. There is something so compelling to me about documentaries that show off the day-to-day lives of people during the 80s and the 90s, where there's little tech involved compared to today's standard. And especially compelling when it's about those same people trying to change the technical landscape and culture in some way. The general idea to General Magic is watching this small, off-branch company from Apple that is trying really hard to make a completely new and unique device. Something funny to notice is how some things change and other things stay the same. This is Silicon Valley at a time when the latest, hottest idea was something waiting around the corner, and so everyone was trying to make a new technology that would just change the world. Their idea was ambitious, I'll give it credit for that. This company wanted to attempt in making a closed network personal device that handled all of your day-to-day tasks at a time when there was no World Wide Web. This was before smartphones, before tablets and small touchscreen devices today. This iteration of the Magic Link was an idea, fully brought to market, and way ahead of its time in terms of cultural and general technology available. I don't know why I find it so annoying, but the doc really likes to show this off to you as if this had never happened before in history, where these guys predicted the future well before anybody else could have. Maybe that's not what it's trying to say, but that's what the tone gave off, especially with its crazy bombastic music.
The reason you should care about the story of General Magic is because it involves something fundamental, and that is, failure isn't the end. Failure is actually the beginning.
While I think it's crazy ambitious and amazing they actually did create this device, I'd like to point out that people are creative and clever. They've been coming up with ideas far ahead of their time for many years now, especially in tech. And it's not that hard to drum up an idea for something that one day you think will actually be true. Literally just the other day, my wife and I were talking about removing walls in our house, and I wanted to know what was within the wall, like behind the drywall, in between the studs. And I told her, hey, wouldn't it be cool if one day in the future we had some kind of device that you could just hold up to the wall, like a tablet or something, and using ultrasound technology or X-ray technology or something, we could see just inside of that wall, and you can move the tablet all around and see behind? I believe something like this will be mainstream one day, probably not even too long from now. But I'm not the first person, nor am I any smarter for thinking or saying this out loud. If you had documentary music to what I'm saying, though, I sound like a friggin' genius!
There comes a moment where for some reason you are in the future and you see something very, very clear. You just see it. That's what happened to me. And I went into the future and I saw the world which I thought was very real and very tangible. And I stood in that moment, inside it, and I looked around me. And it was there. It was all there. It was basically the General Magic vision.
Sorry to nitpick this part so hard. It just bothered me. I did enjoy this movie overall, especially those really close and intimate moments of Andy Hertzfeld and Bill Atkinson and even Johanna Hoffman. As fun as they are to watch, this doc does make it extremely grating for me to watch Mark Peratt, I believe that's how you say his name. I can't stand how pretentious he sounds. These lines sound way too cheesy for me to take seriously. There's moments in this where I actually feel like I'm watching Michael Scott doing an interview and coping about something for our enjoyment.
Have you told your children about this?
Well, I'm talking to them now, and it's one of the reasons I agreed to make this film.
On the flip side, Tony Fadell tells his journey on going from a fresh new young face to the company, meeting his heroes and idols, to being humbled and learning that they, like him, are just people, and they all make mistakes. It's a very compelling story, and it kind of makes you root for him and see where he ends up in life. No spoilers on all this, but some of the stories that come out of this at the end of the documentary are quite nice, and generally left me with a good impression on where we're going in the future. My favorite moment, I think, was the simple moment where there's a bunch of developers all talking and praising Andy Hertzfeld for how they were kind of like mentioning an idea to him, like something they wanted to do, and they all went home for the day. But he stayed up all night and programmed that idea, so the very next day when they came in the morning, they saw that he had made it for them, so they could actually test it out. I just found this moment kind of relatable and super motivating for my own projects in life. All in all, while I found it slightly grating at some moments of awkward storytelling or odd choices of shots or music, I still found the general story to be compelling, relatable, and uplifting. I'll be watching this one again the next time I'm on a team project working with people and I need a gentle reminder that yes, this is normally how it goes. I give General Magic a solid 7 out of 10 magic hats. If you like this video, I've got a ton of documentaries and movies in mind that I just really want to watch and give my opinion on them. I also just made a Letterboxd account. I've never really used that thing before, so I'm going to see how that goes, but if you want to see my opinions on movies I'm watching, you can check them out there too. And side note, this monitor in the movie, I want this monitor. If somebody knows where I can get this monitor, I searched it up. I couldn't really find anything. I found kind of an eBay listing on it, but it was not exactly the right one. I want this monitor. It's so cool. I want it. Okay, bye.